I want to start this video by saying there's going to be a scripted portion of the video towards the end, but I just wanted to talk about a few things that are really fucking annoying. As the Halo community, how are we not more pissed off at what is happening to Halo? 343 is still updating Infinite to this day with things that should have been in the game from the start. Operation Last Stand is coming, and they showcased bullet ricocheting with a sniper, as if that is anything to be excited about. It's fucking embarrassing that we're even showing that off, acting like it's a great achievement. Operation Last Stand will also bring Academy Forge maps where you will be battling on them against AI, where they are coming up with some weird story as if anybody gives a shit. And of course, there will be more cosmetics for all the weirdos on Twitter to play dress up for a first-person shooter where the only time you see your skin or your armor is when you're dead. We have a company that is charging $40 for bundles of fucking armor that you will only see when you are a dead body in the game. Nobody talks about this. They all hate these updates up that bring no new players. At least when MCC was getting updated, we would see a spike in the player count. And to this day, MCC has a higher population than this free-to-play game. They are still charging money for a game, the Master Chief Collection, that they refuse to even acknowledge exists again. They abandoned the game in 2015 when Halo 5 came out, and they have abandoned it again. How are we not pissed off? The game is still buggy. You cannot find matches on Game Pass or the Microsoft Store, and they haven't even acknowledged that that is an issue. And they are still sitting there pretending like the game does not exist. Why are we allowing this? It's time to start blasting Fix MCC again in Twitch chats, all over Twitter, any of the social media accounts that these people have. At this point, cheaters are rampant. The game barely works. You get stuck in infinite loops of fucking trying to find a match. You have cheaters banning people, resetting ranks, doing all kinds of crazy shit. And then you have an entire store and a Game Pass app that you can't even find games on, but they're still charging you money to buy it and not acknowledging that the game is broken. So with that being said, let's get into the scripted part of the video, and let's hope 343 decides to fix what they started. Let's get into some things I think 343 needs to do before they walk away from MCC. When 343 started updating and fixing MCC back in 2018, they fixed a lot and improved the game, even added content none of us expected. Some things got worse in other ways. Me personally, I play Halo for its ranking system and its competitive gameplay. It's now 2025 and I haven't been able to find a ranked match in anything besides hardcore doubles and radar doubles in 2 years. I know what everyone's going to say. The game is old and has a low population. Of course it's going to be hard to find a game. That's true to an extent, but there's other issues at play here. Let's start with what changes happened to MCC's ranking system when 343 started updating the game. When the first update came out way back in 2018, 343 did a full wipe, the first of many, resetting everyone's rank to a level 1. This isn't the only change they made. They added party matching where parties of 4 can only match parties of 4, and parties of 3 can only match parties of 3, and so on. They went a step further and added rank restrictions on top of all these other changes. I'm not saying these are bad changes. I was actually one of the people pushing for these updates, but with everything, there needs to be maintenance. If I remember right, they also went on to reset the ranks 2 more times. This didn't help matters. Another issue is most players don't want to lose their ranks they have. If you want to play ranked, it is possible at low ranks, but the higher you climb, it will eventually become impossible to find matches. We now have players who are getting modders to lock their ranks to a level 23 to be able to find ranked games. We also have players who hit a certain rank and immediately make a new account to do it all over again. I have a simple solution and a more complicated one that 343 will have to dedicate resources to. If that isn't possible, the simple solution should be acted on. Starting with the simple solution, as much as I hate to say it, we will need another rank reset after this. Keep the party restrictions the way they are now. As far as the rank restrictions go, make it 20 to 50. This will make it easier to find games. I've heard the argument, what would be the point of making it 20 to 50? It defeats the purpose of ranked. In my opinion, it would still be more of a competitive experience than playing social, beating up on bad players all day. The more complicated solution would be to overhaul the system altogether. Make it Halo 3's ranking system, where it's easier to rank up. Make it where you can lock into 3v3 matches, and if this doesn't work, continue to expand the search parameters for ranks until it's possible to find a game. I know that ranked isn't a huge priority to most players, but it's part of the game that has been neglected and needs some help. Ranked isn't the only thing that needs some work. Not sure how many players even know about relays. If you don't know what these are, they essentially protect you from getting hit offline. I don't know how long these have been broken or really what causes this to happen. When you have these enabled, you will have a much harder time connecting to games. You will be stuck in a loop of connecting sessions. This is a frustrating bug because it leaves you open to getting smacked offline. And this causes longer search times for people who don't know this is an issue. The last big issue that needs to be addressed as soon as possible is the fact that if you have bought the game on the Microsoft Store or the Game Pass app, you can't find a match. You'll be sitting there searching endlessly. This has been broken since February 28th when 343 did a maintenance update for the anti-cheat. At the time of making this video, the game is on sale on both the Microsoft Store and Game Pass apps, still selling a game where the entire multiplayer is broken. This is just a list of some of the issues I have with the game. There's a lot more to discuss, but this video would be an hour long. I think 343 should come back to update MCC. If they don't have a reason to support it, find one. Based off the Steam numbers, MCC has a bigger population than Infinite. At this point, if it comes down to not having a revenue stream, add microtransactions to support further development of MCC. I do believe that the future of Halo is on the MCC and not Infinite, at least for the time being, but that's up to them to decide, and if we speak up loud enough, maybe they'll come back and update it like they did before. Let us know in the comments what bugs and features you would want to see fixed or added. Do you think 343 should support MCC again, or move on? Thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, and subscribe for more.